In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to cook some kick-ass pork chops on the grill. Now, when we cook pork chops here at home, we don't buy pork chops. We'll buy a pork loin. And what I do is I cut it into pieces that are at least, I don't know, man, they're pretty thick. Maybe 2 inches thick. And I'm going to show you how to do that on a gas grill, or gas grill I would say, because I can regulate the temperature a little bit. But you can see how nice and beefy these suckers are. If you want the most delicious, juicy, tender pork chops ever, then all you got to do is follow these easy steps. And let's get to it. Now, you don't want to season these things before you put them on the grill. If you salt meat before you put it on the grill and you let it sit there, it's going to suck the water out of it. And you don't want that. We want as much juice in it as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these sitting just like this. I took them out of the fridge. I'm going to let them sit on the counter for about a half an hour before they hit the grill. About 2 or 3 minutes before I actually throw them on top of the grill, I'm going to season them. Salt, pepper, garlic. That's it. Both sides. And then we'll be ready to sear them up. Now in the meantime, after these have been sitting on the counter for about 10 minutes, so you got about 20 minutes left before you cook them, go fire up your grill. Keep it shut, turn all burners on high. You want it as hot as you can. My grill gets to about 650 degrees, and that's just what I'm after, with nice thick pork chops like this. So we're out at the grill, and what we're going to do is we're going to fire it up, and we're going to turn all burners to high. Shut the lid and let it rip. You want this as hot as you can for this technique of cooking. Another thing that helps a lot is if you have a cell phone and you can get on the Google Market, get yourself a stopwatch or a timer application. There's a bunch of free ones out there. And because what you're going to do is you're going to time this, I mean, right down to the second, and then you're going to take them off, and they will be the best pork chops you ever had. I guarantee it. They're absolutely delicious. Okay, now that your grill is getting ripping hot, getting all set, we're getting ready to season. So we're just going to salt them up. Nice little heavy layer of salt on there. You notice I didn't trim any of the fat off of these when it was in pork loin form. That's all on there because there's a trick I'm going to show you when you get them on the grill and you're all done cooking them. That's really going to make that fat get into the meat and taste delicious. If you do this and you do it right, these are going to come out so good. You'll never cook them any other way. And we'll put some garlic powder on there, salt and pepper. Now, a key ingredient in this are tongs, never the fork. I don't care what stage you're in, use tongs to flip them. It's a little tough trying to do it in front of the camera, but as soon as you start poking holes in these, out goes the juice. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And like I said before in the video, you don't want to season these too early, because what will happen is, this goes with steak or anything. I cook steak the same way. If you put salt on this too early, you're going to suck the juice out of the salt. It's not good. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. It's an old wives' tale. Salt it and let it sit there. You season it 5 minutes before it goes on the grill. No longer than that. Then you're good to go. So these are ready to go, and the quicker I get them on the grill, the better they're going to come out. So with that said, it's time for grilling. My grill is about 650 degrees, and we should be good to go. Don't know how well you can see that, but it is 650 degrees. I usually let it go for at least 5 or 10 minutes at that temperature to get those grates ripping hot, because that's one of the keys. So what you're going to do is get your timer ready. Your grill's ripping hot. Throw the chops on all the same direction. Shut the lid start the timer. 1 minute and 30 seconds. We're going to turn the pork chops from this way to this way. We're not going to flip them yet. You're going to sear them on each side for 3 minutes total. 1 minute and 30 seconds like this, 1 minute and 30 seconds like that. Then we're going to flip it and do 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then we'll turn it again like that for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Then we're going to take it off the intense heat, and we're going to cook them for 4 minutes on either side and pull them off, and they're done. Then you have to let it, it's very important that you let them sit for at least 10 minutes without cutting into them. If you cut into meat and you don't let it rest, all the juice runs out of it and you get dry. Now these pork chops are guaranteed. They melt in your mouth tender, tons of juice, and you'll see, because the proof is in the pudding. You can see right there, I just turned them, shut it, let them go for another 1 minute and 30 seconds. You want to keep that lid shut as much as you can. As soon as you open that, that temperature drops down to about 525 if you have that open for about 10 seconds. So within, I'm watching it right now, it's going back up, it's 550, it's 575, so it gets back up there pretty quick, but we want that ripping hot temperature for the sear to keep all that juice and flavor in. Okay, we just hit the 3 minute mark, it's time to flip them. And you're going to see a beautiful crosshatch pattern on there, and they're perfectly seared. Beautiful. Another 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then we're going to do something different. Okay, there's a 1.5 minute mark. Now we're just going to turn them sideways, just like this. Shut it. Temperature's still holding at 550 and rising again. That's what we want. So we'll go for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Then what we're going to do is we're going to turn down the heat on the center burner. Leave the two on the ends, ripping hot, and shut the heat off on the center burner. Directly below them, I don't want any flame whatsoever. And we're going to continue to cook them on each side for about anywhere between 3 to 4 minutes, depending on how you like it. But I think I'm going to go with these about 3.5 minutes, and then we'll take them off. Okay, I just hit the 3 minute mark, so we're going to open it up. I'm going to shut the heat off on the center burner. I'm going to give them a flip. We'll let them cook on this side for about 3 minutes. Then we'll flip it again and do 3 minutes on the other side, and then they come off the grill. Now the grill is holding steady at about 500 degrees with the two side burners on there, about 525. So without the flame directly under it, it's going to give the meat a little bit of a break. But you saw how thick they are. They're at least 2 inches thick. So we need that intense heat for the time that we're cooking these to really get those juices flowing and have them cooked perfectly. Alright, I just hit the 3 minute mark, so I'm going to give them one more flip. Oh yeah, they're looking good. I'm going to let them go for another 3 minutes, then they come off. Alright, we're looking good now. What we've got is the final trick. What I always do is I take the pork chops and I take you'll notice that a lot of the fat is already broken down. Turn them up onto the fat side. Let the fat sit on top of the grill. And put them right over the heat. What you're going to see is that fat is it's going to tender up so nice. You don't have to keep them there for very long. Maybe a minute or two, that's all it takes. And that fat will just melt right in your mouth if you like to eat pork fat. And that, as they say, is that. Here's the finished result. Some beautiful 2-inch pork chops, 2 inches thick. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these in, I'm going to cover them up, and I'm going to let them sit for 10 minutes. Cover them loosely so they cool down, not super fast, but not too, not too fast. Okay, here's what I do. I wrap it on the sides tight and I leave the ends open. That way it can cool down at a nice even rate and that juice won't rush out of the meat. The juice won't rush out of the meat, and it'll, as this cools down, that juice is going to pull right back into the center. These are going to be super tender. You'll see in a minute. Well, you'll see in 10 minutes. Okay, there you have it. Let them sit for a little bit. There's juice on the plate. When you cut it, it's like cutting through butter. So juicy. Absolutely delicious. Crazy tender. Oh yeah, that's good. Well worth trying it. And they come out perfect. So that's how to cook perfect pork chops on the grill. Simple.